All right, hello artists. Right now we are going to learn how to make a pocket or a purse or a pillow. And this really is the first step in learning how to sew. We're going to be using what we call a whip stitch. A whip stitch is a stitch that goes around, out the purple in the yellow, out the purple in the yellow. And it just whips all the way around. Okay, so now what we're gonna need is, right here we have small felt that you'll find in our fiber station. I wanna choose 2 pieces. You can choose 2 colors that are the same, 2 not. And what this is gonna lead to is for you to be able to sew your own stuffy or squishy later. So if you're sewing a squishy, you're probably gonna have a shape here and you'll be sewing that. To start, I'm gonna need one of the sharp metal needles. So I choose one. It does have a really sharp edge, but you're gonna be very careful and you're not going to poke yourself with it. You're also going to need thread for felt. It's in the yellow bucket. Make sure that you're really looking for that, this thread. If you choose it from anywhere else, it's for something else in the fiber station. You're gonna choose some thread. There's lots of different colors. And what you wanna do, I'm just kind of like taking this off. I want to have an arm span of thread, okay? An arm span is when you go fingertip to fingertip. So fingertip to fingertip with your arm spread wide. That is an arm span of thread. It's much easier to get more thread or to cut off extra thread than it is to get more. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and I'm going to thread my needle. The needle has an eye, or it's called the eye, which is a little opening in the top. And I'm going to push my needle through it. Here we go, come on now. And I'm really just gonna leave a little tail. So it's a short tail on my thread. I never, ever tie a knot to my needle. If I tie a knot to my needle, then what's gonna happen is it's just more fabric or thread to pull through, and it can ruin your felt. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna hold my thread with my middle finger, my needle with my pointer finger, and I hold them both with my thumb. To start sewing, I'm gonna choose any spot really. If it's a pocket or a pillow, I like to start in a corner. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push through. See how close I am to the edges? And now I pull that thread, pull, almost all the way through till you have a pretty good sized tail. Then what I'm gonna do is I am going to tie a knot to my fabric. This is like the most important step in starting. I'm going to cross that long one with the short one. Do you see how I have that X and then an O? I want to take the tail and go under the long thread and up through the O. If you need to watch this again, rewind a little, watch it again, or just watch me one more time. We always tying a knot, do it twice. So X, O, do you see it? And up through the loop, pull it tight. I don't want to pull it so tight I rip through my fabric. Now I can begin my sewing. And this is a lot like weaving. It's a pattern. So every time I come up from the bottom. Now, sometimes you can see where my needle is. You can see where it's going. So you don't want to have your thumb there or your fingers there. Up through the bottom, and I pull that thread. And this really is, my friends, one of these things where you just need patience and you need some problem solving. Up, and I don't have big, huge stitches. They're pretty close to each other, aren't they? Up through the bottom. Uh-oh, I pulled a little quick. Look what happened. So it wants to be a little knot. It's really easy to get out if I don't start pulling it tight. If I start to pull it tight, it's going to get frustrating and hard. So instead, I start to pull back. All it did is the thread started to twist as I pulled, and I got a knot. So if I pulled it back, I was able to pull that knot out. Okay, go again, up from the bottom. If you're not exactly sure which one that you were in last, look, where's your thread coming out? It's coming out the top. So go in the bottom. And we are going to sew all the way around, okay? Now, if you are doing a pocket before you got all the way around, oops, here we go, because I have the same colors. Before you get all the way around, we're gonna leave a little opening. This is for the stuffing. Would you go grab me some cotton batting? So what we're gonna put in here is what's called cotton batting. It's not a cotton ball, but it's kind of like a cotton ball. A lot of the pillows, like on couches and stuff, have cotton batting. So that's what we're gonna use for our pillow or stuffies. And you'll see the stuffies later. So cotton batting is over in the fiber station. Thank you very much. And it looks like this. So I'm gonna kind of, let's see, I'm gonna pull this back a little bit, and I just pull a little bit off at a time. You've got that opening. I haven't tied any knots. And I just kind of stuff it in there, like get in there, cotton batting. Now it's right here, so I'm gonna stuff it to the other end. In your stuffy, if you have like small areas, you might wanna do that as you stuff, or as you sew. Because small areas are kind of hard to get to if you have short fingers. Keep shoving it in there. Oh, wait, I want to keep my, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're good. Get in there. I mean, one more, I think, and I should be good. Like dog toys. This is what's inside dog toys sometimes. So when your dog chews it up. Here we go. Now, what I'm going to do now, oh no, my needle came off. Well, no big deal. I'm going to thread my needle. This is one of those things that if you allow yourself to get upset, you're going to really struggle. You have to have patience with yourself and with our process. So I look, where's the thread coming out of? The top here. So I'm going to go in the bottom, out the top, in the bottom. You know, it's that whole weaving thing. We're just weaving around fabric now. Instead of warp thread, we're going over, under kind of, aren't we? Under, now I'm over. Now I'm under, now I'm over. It does sure make it easy. I'm almost done. I have a whole class here watching this video right now, and you can barely tell that they're here because they're so incredibly quiet. Now, I am back to where I started, and I have two choices. See how I have that little tiny tail that I started with? I could tie a double knot between the long string and the short string, but I'm going to show you a little trick if you don't have that short string there. This is how we do it. We take our needle, and I'm going to go under the next stitch with my needle. Hello there. Come on now. I'm gonna pull that string almost all the way through, but I'm gonna leave a loop. What am I gonna do with my loop? What am I gonna do with my loop?
Put the needle through the loop.
Yes! Put the needle through the loop. That's kind of like the trick is, you know, whenever you see a loop and you're trying to tie a knot, the needle or the string goes through it. And then once again, I'm going to do it a second time. Da-da-da-da-da-da. What do you see? A loop?
And then maybe a third time if it's bigger than...
I think I'm probably okay. Second time. Now
That would be good.
I can trim. So that is how to sew a purse, a pocket, or a pillow.